Hello everyone, welcome to your Focus Weekly video for the module of International Relations and Internal Security. The topics we are going to discuss in this video are: first is the decline of globalism and tilt of the world politics from globalism to regionalism. Second, and this topic, the first topic, from globalism to globalism to regionalism, is important from mains point of view. Okay, so you need to understand what exactly it means when we are saying that world politics is tilting from globalism to regionalism, and what exactly globalism is and why it is coming under challenge. Then the second is the rising tensions in Indo-Bangladesh ties. Then about the BIMSTEC summit, which is very important from point of view about the organization called BIMSTEC. And the fourth is India-Thailand engagement. Okay, government, the Prime Minister has increased, or Prime Minister has said that now with Thailand we are going to have strategic engagement. So what it means exactly, we'll discuss that. Okay, so let's take the first topic of our discussion, that world politics is drifting from globalism to regionalism. Okay, so when we are saying the shift from globalism to regionalism, now a very similar rhyming word to globalism is globalization. Now, can there be a difference? Is there any difference between these two words? First important thing to understand is this: what is the difference between these two words, globalization and globalism? Now, globalization is a process, while if you understand a bit of if you understand the meaning of the word ideology, isms becomes what? Ideologies. Ideologies are ideas which are given with the objective to acquire power. Okay, so ideas with the objective to acquire power are seen as ideology. Okay, ideas, detached ideas, which does not, in which there is no inherent objective, inherent aspiration, inherent aspiration to acquire power, that becomes philosophy. So this is the difference between ideology and philosophy. Now there is isms attached to regionalism and globalism. So both are ideologies. So the first difference between the two words, that is globalization and globalism, is it's a process. It is ideology. Okay. So it is a process to create a world like a global village where there is interconnectedness. So globalization is the increasing interconnectedness between the states within the world, is the process of globalization. And this interconnectedness will increase with the transfer of goods, services, technologies, and culture. So what globalization is? It's a process to increase interconnectedness, and it will increase interdependence between the states. That let's have a world like a global village where economies, cultures are integrated. Globalization, as I said, it's an ideology with the objective to have a unified global system. To have a unified global system where we need to give more importance to global affairs rather than regional affairs. Okay, so this is the difference. To have a unified global system, and focus should be given more to global affairs over regional affairs. If countries will start giving more emphasis to their regional affairs, they are driven by the ideology of regionalism. If countries are giving more importance to global world affairs, they are driven by globalism. And globalism in the present time is diluting, and politics is shifting or drifting towards regionalism. Okay, so I hope this would have given you the clarity between these two words, globalization and globalism, and what it means when we are saying politics is drifting to regionalism. Okay, so if countries like the regional organization SAARC, the regional organization BIMSTEC. So there are regional organizations for South Asia, East Asia, Southeast Asia, Central Asia, Europe, West Asia. So if West Asian countries will give more emphasis on Arab Union, Organization of Islamic Countries, Gulf Cooperation Council, India giving more emphasis to SAARC, BIMSTEC. Okay, European countries giving more importance to EU, Central Asian countries giving more importance to Shanghai Cooperation Organization, rather than institutions of global governance like UN, IMF, World Bank. It means politics is drifting towards a regionalism. So globalism is an idea to govern the world through the institutions of global governance, and these institutions are seen as the institutions of global governance. Okay, and in the present times, you can clearly see UN is coming more and more under UN is coming under more and more criticism for its failure to prevent Russia's military action in Ukraine, for its failure to protect the integrity and the sovereignty of Ukraine, to assert pressure on Israel to not use excessive violence in Gaza. Okay. IMF, where voting rights have been more under the control of the West. Many are saying UN is redundant and there's a dire need of reforms. So because of this, we are saying that countries are not giving that much importance to these institutions of global governance, and they are inching towards regional institutions and organizations. Okay. So let's see, what is globalization? To increase interconnectedness and interdependence between the states. Okay. So it is economic and cultural integration of the world. How? By increasing exchange of goods and services. Okay, na? And globalism ideology. To have a unified global system, emphasizing on global interest over national ones. Okay. Now, it emphasizes more on global issues, emphasize on global governance with the institutions of global governance, as I just said, right? So, already I have explained, it's a process, it's an ideology, it's a neutral. Globalism is political, and it emphasizes on unified political system or a global system. Okay. So, now both, very important thing to understand, both globalization and globalism, it's a process, it's an ideology. Both are the ways to create and strengthen a liberal world order. And there's a dent on the ideology of globalism, and regionalism as an ideology is gaining more prominence, and forces of globalization are coming under dilution because of the rising protectionism. And so much is in the news as Trump is going for trade wars, high tariffs. It is drifting, US is drifting towards the protectionism, so putting a big dent to globalization, and this is bringing dilution in the liberal world order. So both globalization and globalism are the way to strengthen liberal world order. Okay, so why it is in the news? As the multilateral institutions or institutions of global governance are losing its sheen, and politics is drifting to regionalism or minilateralism. As I said, the regional countries are giving more importance to their regional organizations. Okay, so regional groupings are emerging as the new power blocks in the future. That's why I said this is very important for mains point of view. Why it is shifting? Because UN is seen as redundant, WTO is in deadlock, and IMF is being blamed for that. In IMF, there's an excessive control of the US and the West. Okay. So regionalism and minilateralism is gaining more prominence. As I said, protectionist policies is a clear departure from globalism. Okay. Russia-Ukraine war has maligned the credibility of UN. Israel excessive military action And during the COVID-19, we have seen states closing borders, not sharing vaccine, and WHO as an institution of global governance was being criticized. Okay. And countries were engaging more regionally. Even India started giving vaccines to the SAARC countries. Okay. So regional groupings like ASEAN, EU, BIMSTEC, Indian Ocean Rim Association, last video we have discussed about IORA. India is also giving a lot of importance to BIMSTEC, Quad, for cooperation in Indo-Pacific or Asia-Pacific. Again, a mini-lateral organization, and BRICS. Okay. So they are shaping the world politics. Now, if we see what is India's stance in regionalism, India wants to strengthen, make SAARC functional. India is engaging with its neighborhood under BIMSTEC as SAARC is in deadlock. Indian Ocean Rim Association. India follows neighborhood first policy. Okay. India just Quad in Asia Pacific, East Asia Summit, right? India wants to strengthen minilateralism. India wants to engage with the countries of the region, and India wants to strengthen regional integration. But India does not want that institutions of global governance becomes redundant, and that is why India is one of the major voice who is demanding reforms in UN. India demand voting rights in IMF. So according to India, even if states are working to strengthen regionalism, we should not ignore global governance through these international institutions and organizations. So India, at the same point, is ready to strengthen the institutions which are the outcome of both of these ideas, that is globalism and regionalism. So India is one of the vocal supporter of both multilateralism and minilateralism. Okay. So I hope this discussion would have given you a good clarity about the difference between globalization, globalism, and regionalism. Okay. The second topic of our discussion is that escalation of tensions between India and Bangladesh, as India has cancelled ends the transshipment facility for Bangladesh from our soil. Now the tension started emerging between India and Bangladesh. Okay, the neighboring country of ours, which is being created by India in 71. India played a major role. India has given the blood for the political rights of the Bengali. But since the creation of Bangladesh, since the emergence of East Pakistan as Bangladesh, we have seen a flip-flop in our ties with Bangladesh based on the political dispensation, based on the political party in power within Bangladesh. Whenever the secular Awami League has come to power, we have seen a lot of vibrancy in our ties with Bangladesh. But whenever another major political party, that is the BNP, Bangladeshi Nationalist Party. Okay, since whenever BNP has took over power, we have seen BNP playing China card aggressively. Okay, and BNP having the backing of the fundamentalist factions. League is a party of liberals and the seculars. Since 9, the party of Sheikh Hasina, Awami League, was in power. So we have seen a lot of vibrancy in our engagement with Bangladesh. We were able to settle down the issue of contention, that is the issue of exchange of enclaves, and a lot of our trade increased exponentially with Bangladesh as there was a stability in Bangladesh. Since 9, Sheikh Hasina was able to consolidate her power. But sudden turmoil in the politics of Bangladesh has impacted India's engagement with Bangladesh. Okay, Sheikh Hasina, she has to flee after facing political protest. within Bangladesh. India has allowed her to stay within India. Now the leadership of Bangladesh demanding India needs to send her back, though India has refused. Right? Though we have an extradition treaty with Bangladesh, but this allows both the countries to refuse to send the people who are being blamed for committing political offense. So India has refused to send Sheikh Hasina, as according to India under extradition treaty, political offenses are not being covered. Okay. And since this political turmoil, since she lost her power, interim government has emerged in Bangladesh under the advisor of Muhammad Yunus. Okay. And recently in China, he said that China can increase its economic outreach to the landlocked northeast of India, as Dhaka is the guardian of ocean in the region. This statement is a clear indication that Bangladesh wants to engage, move with China, and ready to play China card to keep India in check. In this backdrop, India has cancelled the transshipment facility for Bangladesh. Okay. So it is about the new development. Otherwise, as I said, we have seen a flip-flop. This aspect of India's engagement with Bangladesh is more important. Okay. So in this backdrop, this much is important for you to know. Okay. So this is what BIMSTEC is. So a bit of evolution of BIMSTEC, so though not that important, except this, that you should be aware of the year in which it was created, under which declaration. Earlier it was BIST, Bangladesh, India, Sri Lanka and Thailand Economic Cooperation. With Myanmar joining it, it became BIMST, Bangladesh, India, Myanmar, Sri Lanka, Thailand Economic Cooperation. But finally, when Nepal and Bhutan joined, it became BIMSTEC, Bay of Bengal Initiative for Multi-Sectoral Technical and Economic Cooperation. Now, Nepal and Bhutan, they are not in Bay of Bengal, but still they are the part of this initiative. Okay. So, these goals will remain same. Nothing you need to cram. So, what is important is to know what BIMSTEC is, when it was constituted, and a bit of evolution. Now, India-Thailand towards a strategic partnership. So the Prime Minister in his statement has elevated our bilateral ties with Thailand to strategic partnership. So elevation of our ties with Thailand to strategic partnership. So when we say, I guess earlier also I have discussed in the video, in one of the video, the difference between natural allies and strategic partners. Okay. So can we say Thailand a natural ally? Yes, it qualifies to be a natural ally also. Those countries who share common values, it can be economic, political, and cultural, and our cultural values are same with Thailand. Buddhism is a common link. So those countries who share common values are allies. Those countries who are coming with a long-term vision together to counter some common threat and enemies are considered as strategic partners. India and Thailand are coming closer to each other under the Indo-Pacific strategy. Okay. As both consider the rising hegemony of China is a challenge. So both are coming closer. India under its Act East and Thailand under Look India policy. Okay. Look West. So both are coming closer as strategic partner with a long-term vision to counter some common threat and common enemy. This is what we mean when we say strategic partnership. Short-term partnership for short-term goals comes under the category of tactical partnership. Okay, so this is the difference between natural allies, strategic partners, and tactical partners. And now we have elevated our ties with Thailand to strategic partnership, means now we both have a long-term vision, something big goal to achieve. That is to counter China. As I said, we share civilizational history with Thailand, and Buddhism is a common link, is a bridge, reflects the presence of our soft power within Thailand also. Okay, so it gained more momentum when we launched Look East in 91 precisely and changed to Act East in 2014. Under Act East, government has emphasized a lot on 3 C's, that is enhance commerce, strengthen connectivity, and emphasize on culture, that is the soft power. So as I said, Buddhism is a bridge, right? And Thailand has, in return, Thailand has embraced Act West, that is Look India policy. Okay. Both are engaging with each other under ASEAN, BIMSTEC, and East Asia Summit. East Asia Summit is ASEAN plus, earlier it was 6, now it is 8. Thailand is a party to ASEAN. These 6 countries are India, China, Australia, New Zealand, South Korea, Japan, and these plus 2 are US and Russia. So US is increasing its engagement in the region under its Asia Pacific strategy, or under its Indo-Pacific strategy, through which US is pursuing a strategy called Pivot to Asia, and India is pursuing Act East, and Thailand is one of the important strategic partner of ours from now onward under our Indo-Pacific or Asia Pacific strategy, where we are engaging with US too. Okay. And as I said, we are focusing a lot on connectivity. So we have started IMT highway, India, Myanmar, Thailand highway. Okay. So we'll have a land route to reach out to Thailand. This I have already explained. So these were the important things for this particular week. That is globalism to regionalism, what globalism is, what regionalism is, what is the outcome of globalism, what is the outcome of regionalism, what we mean by globalization, how globalization is different from globalism. Globalism will lead to multilateralism and regionalism will lead to minilateralism. Okay. India-Bangladesh tensions, BIMSTEC summit, and India-Thailand strategic partnership. I hope this discussion will help you to understand things you need to focus from exam point of view. We'll connect with you next week with new topics. Best wishes. Take care.